Hello guys, welcome back to another video. Today we are going to be racing at Interlagos for the American GT Challenge. So you're probably asking yourself, why did I upload this on a Wednesday or Thursday? It's because I've been renovating my room a little bit, and it's been taking some time to kind of get everything set up. So yeah, so that means that I'm kind of on a new TV, new kind of sim rig. So kind of a factor in this race. But there was also some other factors that I was so unlucky in this race. Some of it came down to me, some of it came down to other drivers. I'm just not being cautious, but yeah. You'll definitely see it in the highlights, so I hope you guys enjoy. So here we are, starting in 11th place, a very disappointing qualifying. I had no idea what went on. And we get a pretty good start here in the Toyota, much faster than the Porsche. So we have two wide, I believe we're clear of everyone, and then Bar here goes a little bit wide here, that causes him to go off the track. But then we have two cars, we get sandwiched in turn 2. So okay, I'll play the outboard on that. We basically get sandwiched on the first lap, which really sucks. But you'll see here, basically Bar on our inside, and then basically kind of cuts across us here, and we just get sandwiched. Be free to slow it down a little bit more if you want to. But basically, that set off the first safety car. I think we rejoin in 10th. Yep, I think we do. Actually, no, the safety car hasn't been called out yet, so I believe we pass Ram before the safety car is called. And then yeah, some people pitted under safety car, but I'm not sure why you would. It's literally lap 1, so yeah, so we're down to 9th. So we actually technically gained 2 positions, which is good, but I think we could have definitely probably maybe gained 1 more position if we weren't involved in that crash. So, which really sucks, but you know, that's racing, and sometimes in racing that will happen. So here we are for the restart here now. I'm not very confident when it comes to restarts because I don't want to crash into anyone. But here you're going to see I actually time it perfectly, maybe a little bit, but you'll see kind of what happens on this restart. We go, the starting line I think is right now, so we go, Ram is still going slow, so we get on the accelerator, Toyota supers power, we get past him, but then in front and then this happens. Yup, so unlucky once again, and we get engine damage. So right on board with the key tops here, you're about to see that he just passes me with no problems. And the engine is just screwed. We just get passed by Key and Ram. I think this is the first time I've ever gotten engine damage, but we'll look back at that incident with me basically there. So basically there, he's in that kind of silverish flame thingy. So I'll try to click it as fast as possible here. So basically goes, I don't know, deep into the, no, I think Bar actually checks up and then basically just rams into the back of him. I really can't blame him. But then that causes basically to kind of do this weird maneuver where he goes on this back bumper once again. But then he just completely stops, and nowhere we could have done. Nowhere we could have went. So, did we miss our braking point? I think we matched it a little bit too perfect. But really, I know where to go. It's not like I missed the braking point like by 100 meters. But you know, that sucks that now we're going to lose the draft to Ram and Key out front. And we're basically going to be second to last where we started. So it sucks. I think we still have engine damage right now, and then we get it back. You could hear the revs, and basically we lose the draft. So a lot of time lost from that wreck, and no safety car, by the way. So really that sucks. If it was another safety car, I think I really needed that safety car. Just it was so unlucky on the first 4 laps of this race. We got taken out. Technically, I didn't get taken out on the second one, but yeah, just leg kind of took me out, I guess, on the second incident. So see you guys when the action unfolds. So here we catch up to our teammate Braid, who started alongside us for the start. We're up in front, he misses the apex, and I think The draft around here is not as strong, but you're about to see that Ram, I believe, had to serve like a time penalty or something. So he's going pretty slow here. I'm planning on pushing Braid here, but then I just kind of back out. He kind of backs out of that move. And then we gotta cause an incident here. Just watch. Yeah, so my fault there. I missed the breaking point. I was like, sorry, because he's my teammate. You can't disrespect your teammate like that. And really that was fully my fault. I was way too close to the back. Especially in multiplayer races, you don't know when they're gonna break. So you just have to stay off that rear bumper, and I kind of tailgated him. Then he goes for another move here, and then kind of just, I don't know. We'll replay it once again there. But yeah, that first incident, kind of my fault. So when we're under braking here, it looks like Braid just misses the apex, and then just cuts across there. So really, then we lose a little bit more time. So that kind of sucked. But now we're in 10th place, but now we're far behind the leaders. I mean, far behind Keytops and Ram, who I think we're definitely recovering from this race. So Taha, you're about to see a huge mistake, and when I go into pits, this is the one thing I get scared about. So he comes in the pits, he's on the soft tire for some reason. I started on the medium tire, sorry about not saying about that. My strategy was go from the mediums to the hards, because last race you saw it. If you watched the replay, you knew that I struggled on the soft. So he comes in, but I believe he said that he forgot to change. I think he changed the two soft tires once again. We'll see here. But now, yeah, he's coming out of the pits, and I believe he's on the soft tire. Now, I think what he was definitely planning to do was go on the hard tire. But I think he said that he misclicked, and I was like, huh? He's now on the soft tire? Because I think I could see him from the leaderboard, and he loses a lot of time, but then now he has to definitely make another pit stop, and basically his race is ruined. If two stoppers are not ideal in AGTC yet. I wish that it was between a one stop and a two stop, but not yet. So we make our way into 9th position, but still that's kind of for us. I think we could have definitely been battling in the top 8 with Ram and Key. We had a pretty good car. I came in the weekend like, oh, maybe we can challenge for a top 5. Well, clearly that's not going to happen. Like, there's no way. Unless the other safety car comes out, but with the new safety car rules, and how safety cars are now rarer than what they were before, really, safety cars, I knew were never going to come out. So it's just going to be, I had to depend on my pace alone, and hope for the best that someone makes a mistake, someone makes a 2-stop for some reason, just makes a little mistake, and hope for the best. So we're on lap 10 here with 16 laps to go, and hopefully we go for the better. Actually 25 laps to go, so it was going to be a long race to back here into 9th. So since we started on the medium tire, as you can see, Taha was actually catching up to us, so I was like, well, let me just pit real quick. My tires were already dying anyways. And we go from the mediums to the hard tires. So what I learned from Watkins Glen, there we go, my Wisconsin accent, what I learned from that is never start on the soft tire, because it doesn't last that long. And then you'll have super old hards at the end. Really, and I think I did the right job, because even if we started on the soft tires, I don't think we could have, I don't think we would have even gained anything anyway. So really, we go on the hard tires, we rejoin in last place, and I'm like, oh jeez, what has happened to our race? And really, Taha up to 9th, so he's still regaining, but still, he has to make another pit stop, sadly. So I didn't know what was going on with Taha. I thought he was like going soft, hard, like on purpose, but yeah, he just made a simple mistake. He said it after the race. And really, that's what I always fear. I think everyone kind of fears that when they come in the pits, they're like, oh shoot, I selected the softs instead of the hards. And that's the worst possible tire you could have selected. So, oof for him, but we're still trying to regain after that horrible first 4 laps. So hopefully it turns for the better. So here comes Taha out of the pits. I think he actually comes out in front of me. Yup. So now I knew that this was his last stop. So basically, we're on the same tire, and I think I was So for the next few laps, sadly I can't broadcast the next few laps or else this video would be really long, but I was actually keeping up with him, which was very weird since I thought it was my pace I was struggling with. So yeah, it's just really we were staying with him, which was really nice. It showed me that I wasn't the slowest guy on track, which boosted my confidence just a little bit. But yeah, it was just, now it's basically, when you're in this type of race where you're just trying to recover, you're basically concentrating, you're trying to get rid of those negative thoughts, and definitely I had some negative thoughts. I was actually thinking of swapping my team from Division 1 to Division 2 because I thought it was so slow. But I don't think, after kind of reflecting, I think I'm definitely fast enough to be in D1. It's just I need to get a little bit more lucky with all my incidents and stuff. So yeah, it was hard. It was definitely hard to kind of concentrate on this race. So riding on board with basically here, so we're actually, this is not my replay, we're actually 2 car lengths behind, or 2 cars behind. So basically he makes a huge mistake. I believe he spins, nope, actually he goes right into basically there, and basically just spins out, and then we're able to actually get past him, almost collide, but I think we're side by side here. I think ultimately we have the fastest car here anyway, so we get past him and we're up to 11th, so some high hopes there, but still we're kind of in a, I think definitely some people had a pit, but you're gonna see that maybe the strategy was the best, or maybe it was just my pace. We'll see. So a couple laps later, we find ourselves behind basically, and I mean Braid, and Braid kind of goes a little bit wide. He kind of cuts across, but then ultimately goes a little bit wide. I learned from a couple laps ago to not follow someone directly like that, kind of make a dummy move, and ultimately we are now in the top 10, but still I was like, okay, top 10, that's not going to give us a lot of points in terms of standings. So really I was trying to deliver hard in this race, since I was going to miss 2 out of 3 of the next races, I believe. Yep. So sadly no videos coming out of those. But yeah, we find ourselves in 10th position, but I'm thinking about, I think some of the guys in front actually have to pit. Taha, of course he doesn't have to pit. He's already pitted 2 times, so it's I think Bar, I wasn't really thinking who was pitting. I think I was like, oh, Bar and Key I think haven't pitted, so I'm wondering, they definitely start on the hard tires. So, and we have around roughly around 12 laps to go in this race. Now 11. So I was like, okay, maybe they're gonna pit for the soft tires, and we'll see what they pit for. So Bar pits on lap 20, and surprisingly I actually came out really far ahead of him. Our teammate pits as well, but he comes out on the soft tire. So my mindset here is, I don't think he's actually going to catch up to me. So first of all, soft tires, they don't last forever. They don't last really long. So it's like, okay, well we have around 8 laps to go in this race, and I was like, okay, well he's gonna be fast for just a little bit in his stint, and then his tires are gonna start wearing out and he's gonna start making mistakes. So it's like, I was half anxious to try to increase that gap or try to get some good laps, and then I was also like kind of, I don't know, the feeling, it was like I was relieved that he pitted a little bit earlier. Maybe I think he definitely had a pit for fuel. I think his fuel was at like 1%, but now I knew that Toasty was coming to pits. I for sure wasn't going to catch up to him, but I was like, okay, maybe Key still has to pit. So with Bar being behind us, yup, so Key, I believe, comes in the pits a couple of laps later. So here's Key Tops here, so he also had the hard to soft strategy, and we actually surprisingly come out pretty far ahead of him, which was very relieved. But also he pitted, I think 2 laps or something like that later than Bar, so I knew that his tires were probably gonna last they were probably going to be super fast. Plus, he was on low fuel, but that doesn't really matter. So I knew Key was going to catch up to us. He was a previous season champ, and he's also behind Bar. So I was like, okay, so if Key catches up, then I'm going to have Bar right on my back bumper. So I was like, okay, now I'm not relieved, because when I'm looking in my rearview mirror or whatever, I could actually see Key and Bar together. So I was like, oh shoot, this is not going to end well. I think Bar kind of planned on doing the undercut strategy, but his tires are going to wear anyways. But now my main thing that I was anxious about was Key Tops. So we'll see if he catches up or makes a mistake. Here comes Key Tops here. Look at how much he catched up to me in that corner, just the hard tire. And he actually goes for a pretty late lunge there, but luckily I give him a little bit of space, and there he goes. End of 8th place there, and you can already see that soft tire just amazing. It is absolutely amazing, and I was kind of sad that I didn't do the same strategy as him, but I think I would have maybe came out in a different position than I would have. So now our main threat was Bar behind us. Now I think the gap was around 3 seconds, but he's going to start making mistakes, and that really increased the gap a lot, but we'll see really what happens. Now riding on board Bar here with 2 laps to go, I think the gap was around 4 seconds, and this is a vital mistake that really cost him the race. So he goes off the track. That's automatically a penalty. I believe he gets like a 3-second time penalty here, and that's basically the race over for him. His tires, let me check his tires real quick. You can see here they're half rare, and I didn't know what was going on. I thought he was going to catch up to me, but actually no. In like the final 3 laps, I was like, okay, that gap is actually not even decreasing, so he's not catching up to me. And his tires are probably already dead, so he's a goner. I'm not saying that as a mean way, but I mean that he's not going to come for 9th place unless I make a massive mistake. So I'm massively relieved, but I'm actually more relieved when I realize that after he serves this penalty, the gap is now at 7 seconds. So really, that was some relief there, and I'll go with the final lap with you guys. So the final lap in this race, as I said before, I was super relieved to be able to even begin the final lap in the top 10, close to the top 8. But I think Key Tops got past Taha, of course. So Taha's race, he was in like 2nd before he pitted. Now he's in 8th. So really, those were some really good points just taken away there. I really feel bad for him. Ari Philo, congrats to him. He already finished the race. I think when we were in turn 3, which is kind of like long left. And the one thing I was hoping for this race was to get some good points, because I was going to miss this weekend at Spa, and I was also going to miss in 2 weekends or 3 weekends at Monza. So this was huge for me to try to get points. I'll be able to make it to Nürburgring, which is between those 2 weekends, which is, yeah, in 2 weekends. So I was kind of relieved about that, but really, I needed some good points, and finishing in 9th, you know, is, I don't know, just double trouble, I guess. And we just finished in 9th position. I was hoping for an 8th position like we did last race, but no, we're not getting it today. And yeah, in the standings, I think we dropped down 2 positions, 57 minutes, so that's one of the longest races. I think Laguna Seca was a little bit longer, which is very surprising, but yeah, me and Braid, we finished 9th and 11th, so really just not a good finish. But you know, I think I definitely made the most out of it. I was very surprised I undercutted on Bar and Key, but of course Key was going to get past us. I wish Key pitted like the same lap as Bar, but I think he would have still found a way to get past us. But yeah, that is kind of the race highlights from my POV. I hope you guys are enjoying this series. Sadly, like I said before, I will be missing next weekend, so I will not be able to make any videos since I'll be out with my friends. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys maybe 2 weekends at the Nürburgring. See you guys next time. Goodbye.